Hi and welcome to my channel. So, moving to the UK currently as a carer is the most sought after pathway for millions of people that are currently wanting to move to the UK from different countries, or indeed people that are already in the UK with different visas trying to switch. So, yes, the UK is still recruiting carers, and look, I'm going to be telling you one thing in this video that is currently ongoing within this carer industry, that if you're applying for carer jobs in the UK, it doesn't matter whether you're in the country or you're still out, you need to know this, because I don't want this to happen to you. But I'm also going to be saying, if it does happen to you, what exactly should you do? How should you safeguard yourself? How should you salvage yourself from this unfortunate situation? Because the bitter truth about it is that a good opportunity like this always comes with other opportunities that then make the whole situation really complex, really difficult, and make life hard for other people. And why do people really like this pathway? It's because you can move to the UK without any degree, no qualifications, no experience, and most importantly, no out. So coming to the UK as a carer is one of those pathways that you can use without needing out. So what is going on is what I'm going to be covering. So if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your time, and I do hope that you're finding this helpful. I have a free newsletter where I send information about free visa sponsorship opportunities in the UK, work from home jobs that you can do, high paying jobs that you can do from the comfort of your home without any degree, experience, qualifications. All you need is to be a problem solver. Also, career progression opportunities in the UK. That's one thing I'm really passionate about, as well as work, side business ideas that you can do in your own time so you can earn extra money and retire early and leave the rat race. Because the truth is, many of these jobs that we want to get in the UK, it's not like they're even highly paid. They are very low paid, but we're doing them because we've got an overall objective. So you need to be thinking out of the box. If you check the comment section below, you see a link to my newsletter. All you need to do is drop your name and email, and you're part of the newsletter. It's completely free. I send that info directly to your inbox so you never ever miss out, relying on the yo-yo YouTube algorithm. So I'm looking forward to communicating with you on there. Also, you can see all my contacts on there. You've got my email, you've got my WhatsApp number, and if you get in touch, then I will get back to you. And if you've got any questions as I go along, any comments, any thoughts, any ideas, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section as I go along. So what is really happening in the UK? What's going on is that many companies are now recruiting, or should I say people, are now recruiting overseas candidates, for carer jobs that are inexistent, which means that you, you know, you find a job basically, you get a certificate of sponsorship, you apply for a UK visa, but guess what? When you eventually get to the UK or you switch your visa to this particular company, you then realize that I've got zero work for you to do, but you've got a legit UK visa. It is the worst situation to find yourself right now. I know colleagues, friends that have been left frustrated. They've got families that moved to the UK with their dependents, and they've got no salary, no pay, because they have no job. And let me tell you, there are many risks that are associated with this particular situation. So, but if you're watching this and you're wondering who I am, so my name's Melvis. I currently work here in England as an advanced nurse practitioner. So I'm a nurse myself. I moved to the UK quite a few years ago now. Started my own healthcare journey, working as a carer in a nursing home, and then from there I studied nursing here in the UK as an international student. Progressed beautifully in my career to now working as an advanced nurse practitioner, which is currently the most senior clinical nursing position. And it's been a lot of hard work, but it's been worth it in the end. So I'm passionate about career progression, because that's what has brought us to the UK. That's what has brought many of us to this country. So I have a private career coaching program where I support nurses, carers, midwives, students, student nurses, prospective student nurses, and anybody that is looking for UK visa sponsorship opportunities to move to the UK. So once you join, we get started with what's your personal circumstance, what's the best pathway for you to pursue, what should you do, CV, who is recruiting, how do you apply, career progression, you're wanting to progress in your career, how do you go about that, what do you need to do, interview preparation. So if you check the about section of this YouTube channel or the description box below, you see a link to join. and it is incredibly vital, important, helpful, and useful. So I look forward to seeing you, obviously, and getting to work with you so you get that tailored, individualized, and personalized support that you need in order to excel in this country. So, what do you do if you find yourself in this situation? And look, let me tell you, if you're one of those people, obviously, that are paying other people to move to the UK without going through the due process of applying for jobs, doing the interview, and all of that, those are the only people that find themselves in this predicament. Because the truth is, no employer would put a job out, recruit you if they don't have a job for you. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? But those people that you end up hearing that I paid 20,000 to move to the UK, I paid 15,000 to move to the UK, those are the same people that get here and they don't have a job. Look, it is very frustrating. It is very demoralizing. It's so touching, and you don't want to find yourself in that situation. I say to members of my private coaching program, look, it may take a while for you to get a job, but you know that you've got a job. You know that you're going to be getting into a job. You know that you will be employed. You know that you're going to be able to feed your family at the end of the month. You're going to be able to pay your bills. You don't want to find your look, you don't find yourself in the UK with a family, even alone, without any income. And while many people would argue that you can get another job because you've got a legit, visa, the truth about the matter is that according to the immigration laws and policies in the UK, if you have a visa sponsorship, you must be employed full time by the employer that has provided your certificate of sponsorship. Otherwise, later on, when you apply for indefinite leave to remain, they are likely to refuse. And again, obviously, these people are not going to tell you that, but you're going to find out in 5 years' time, in 6 years' time, that you apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK and they say no. And at that point, what then do you do? How do you then proceed? So that's why I try to raise awareness with these things. I know that these are some of the things that nobody wants to, talk about. Nobody wants that they should be spoken about. But truth be told, if it's one person that listens to this and does the right thing, then at least it's helped somebody from a terrible, terrible catastrophe, here in the UK. So, you know, what do you think? If you find yourself in this situation, what should you do? You need to be looking for another job immediately. You need to apply for other jobs immediately, because it's not only about the income that you're missing, it's the fact that, indefinite leave to remain, again, it can be refused, which is the worst thing, being in the UK every day, not knowing whether in 6 years' time you're going to be able to stay. Because remember that your immigration history is something that stays on, is something that lives on. And if they want to check, they can check and see how much tax have you paid. That's how they get to know. Because if you're working full time, you're paying tax and national insurance, and it's from that national insurance and the taxes that you pay they're able to see. Also, if you're on a sponsored visa, it is a legal requirement that the home office needs to know what are you doing, where do you work, how many hours do you work, everything about you has to be updated with the home office. And that's why if you're changing a job, if you don't show up at work, if anything happens, your employer is legally supposed to advise the home office about that. And that's why many employers have recently lost their ability to sponsor overseas workers because of this particular practice that I'm talking about. So please, if you find yourself, dedicate the time. Do not despair. It is the moment for you to be strong instead. Start applying for jobs immediately. Make sure your CV is spot on. I've done lots of videos on here that can help you. How do you do, a CV to stand out and all of that. But you need to make sure that you're making hay while the sun shines, and you're investigating thoroughly, before you're applying for any job, ensuring that the company that is offering visa sponsorship is legit, but most importantly, they've got a job for you once you eventually get that visa and move to the UK, or if you're switching within the UK, it's exactly the same thing. And like I've said, these are mainly those same employers that are going to charge you ridiculous amounts of money, but they are the ones that don't actually have jobs. So, because the thing is, when you have a license to recruit overseas candidates, it doesn't mean that you've got a job to give those candidates, which is a shame, because these people that are unethical about their practice, this is how they do. They know that they don't have a job for you. They know that they're only going to be able to give you 1 hour of work per day or 10 hours per week, but you only find out once you're in the UK, or once you've switched your visa. Look, it is the worst thing to happen. Like I say, I deal personally with colleagues that are in this predicament, and it is not an easy situation to be going through. So I do hope that this has helped you somehow. Yes, it's not the type of news we want to be hearing, but these are things that we also need to talk about and not make it seem like everything in the UK is just rosy and perfect and is the dreamland. No, there are a few people that are indeed making life really, really tough for the rest of us. So do share this with your friends, colleagues, loved ones, looking for carer jobs, so that they are aware of this. And like I said, if it stops one person falling prey, then it's been incredibly useful, it's been incredibly vital, and it's been incredibly helpful. So I've done videos on here how you can look for jobs, where you look for jobs, how you do your CV, literally everything that you would need. But if you need that personalized, tailored, and individualized support, then I offer that through my private coaching program, which you can find a link in the description box below, or the about section of this YouTube channel, and then join. Once you do, we'll get started. Whether it's career progression, we will get started and make sure that we get you to the next stage, of that journey. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Keep watching.